Hey everybody, Trisha Peridot, and it's time to wind down the year. And for anybody that knows me, you know that resolutions is just not something I do. But in the spirit of kicking off a new year, I wanted to talk about how we can leave behind all of our negative attachments. You might be saying, what are you talking about? What negative attachments do you mean? I don't have any. Um, I would have to challenge that statement because I think pretty much everybody has some attachment that is negatively impacting their life in some way, shape, or form. So this could just be the mom or the dad that gets super bothered by clutter on the counter or just clutter in general around the house and is constantly, saying to the kids, hey, don't drop your backpack here on the kitchen counter. Take it upstairs when you get home and then come back down. I know I was that parent. I kind of actually ended up compromising on that one with the kids. And it was like, look, don't leave it here. If you don't want to take it all the way upstairs, I totally get it. Put it at the foot of the stairs. So when you do go upstairs, you can't forget to take your stuff with you. But anyway, so we all have these these attachments that negatively impact our life in some way, right? At some point in time or another. And so it's the clutter. Are we overly obsessive about clutter? The sock that gets left on the floor all the time. Are we attached to continuously being busy? So we get up in the morning, we pack the kids the lunches, we get them off to school, we get ourselves ready, we get to work, we do our work, we come home, we make dinner, we make sure the homework gets done, and then we still don't sit down. We have to make sure that the house is 100% in order before we can even think about going in and laying down and going to sleep. And so this attachment to always making sure everything is perfect and being everywhere that I'm needed to be for everybody all the time, up to and including my career, my job, whatever, however you refer to that, really negatively impacts your life because you're not positively there for yourself and you're not positively there for your children. In fact, I'd venture to say that it might look like a lot of barking of orders. Go do your homework, go take out the trash, pick up the dog poop, whatever it is that we're pointing, right? And we're saying this is the time of day we do this, this, and this. And don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with having schedules and routines, because I'll tell you what, it's later on, or when you're reading the blog, it's what you're going to hear me kind of recommend to you, is that you start carving out certain chunks of the day for certain things. But what I want to, make sure that we're getting to the point on here is that I'm not just talking about, our attachment to organization. I'm also talking about, some things that, might be looked at as a higher severity. Although I will say that both of those can be taken to an extreme level where that severity level certainly becomes super serious with the functioning of our family unit or our household unit, if you will. But let's talk about the other attachments we might have, right? We might be attached to having to go to the gym every day. If I don't go to the gym every day, I'm going to be angry, I'm going to be frustrated, I'm going to be irritated, I'm going to be annoyed, I'm going to start talking to myself negatively, and when I look in the mirror, I'm going to see a big fat blob or whatever, right? Maybe you're super attached to stopping after work at the bar and having 3 drinks with your buddies to unwind before you come home. And how does this negatively affect your life? Even though, maybe you don't consider yourself an alcoholic or an addict, totally get it. You might just be stopping off, having a quick, nightcap, whatever it is. I'm not here to place labels. But if you're stopping every day before coming home and you're hanging out with your friends for just a little bit to unwind, this can be looked at positively, and I'll get to that in a minute. But what we want to say is I'm stopping every day. I'm sitting down with my buddies. I'm unwinding. I'm having 3 beers, right? We haven't talked about the size, the heaviness, or the alcohol content of them. But when I get home, what my family is getting is not only the already tired person, parent, spouse, whatever, from having worked a long day, but we're also now getting the further tired, based on the alcohol consumption. It doesn't matter. It's still going to, you know, decrease your energy levels, right? It is a depressant. And for some people we might actually become even more agitated, like, because we've gotten ourselves to this calm, relaxed state, and then we walk in the door and maybe there's some chaos, right? We've got kids, we've got a spouse, I'm not even going to put gender roles in there. And they've been waiting because they've got dinner done. The kids, need to have the attention. They want to tell you about baseball practice, and gee, by the way, you could have maybe made it to that baseball practice too, right? So we have these attachments that we buy into this belief that I either deserve and or need to have whatever it is in our life, and it may not be stopping off at the club. It could be anything, right? It could be, I'm going to go and do the errands on the way home, but those errands, which looked like stopping and picking up milk, cheese, and yogurts, turns into popping into Target to get those things. And now we're going, oh, but next month Sally needs this for this event, and Bobby needs this for baseball, which is coming up in 3 months. I'm going to go ahead and just start getting these things because it's therapeutic for me. I hear this all the time, and I know because I use this a lot, right? Grocery shopping was therapy for me, and I always came home with all kinds of, I didn't even bother going to other stores. I was just up and down every single aisle. I would walk the grocery store for 3 hours because it was just like a numbing place for me. And I would buy things, and whereas yes, we did eat them and whatnot, it was still money wasted that was unnecessary, right? I didn't need to buy that really expensive block of cheese, because I really love a good cheese. But there's times and places for that. And so when you really look at that, I was attached to that reward system. I was attached to the checking out mentally, emotionally, checking out of my role inside of the home. So we can talk about these different scenarios time after time after time after time, right? So it doesn't really matter if we're, checking out, because of alcohol consumption, or if we're checking out because we have to clean the house. Neither of those things have us interacting with our family. Neither of those things have us growing intellectually. None of those things have us paying attention to our emotional needs. Not really. We might say it is, but it's not really. And none of it is creating, helping foster the lifestyle that we truly are envisioning for ourselves down the road. So again, it's negatively impacting because it's not just affecting ourselves, it's affecting other people. And I'm guessing at some point in time or another, there's been at least a disagreement over whatever it is that you are attached to. Like, Mom, why does it matter if my shoes are right here? It's really not a big deal. And you know what? They're right. It's really not a big deal. So anyway, there's some steps that you can do to just kind of break it down to, make your days function more smoothly while allowing time and space for your personal quiet time that you need in appropriate fashions. There's a way to add in time for that social interaction that you need. That doesn't none of these things have to be daily occurrences. They just have to be. And we just have to acknowledge the fact that these are things that I need in my life, and where do they fit appropriately. So we want to do what works and be effective. And so we just really have to navigate through that. But there's some deeper issues here that I challenge you to maybe reach out to me and let's have a conversation and see if we can't, do some pinpointing on. I mentioned some of them in the blog because we really need to know what it is about why you have to be busy all the time, what it is about whatever attachment it is that you need to hold on to. So head over to the blog, make some notes, highlight, underline, circle. If none of it resonates with you, it doesn't speak to you, but it prompts something else, some other type of a scenario for you, great, write it down. Let's talk about it. I'm here to help and give you the guidance. Talk to you soon. Oh, you know what? Have a Merry Christmas.